Hot dogs. Oh yeah. Okay. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for tuning back in. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. As you guys can see, I have my beautiful best friend here. Got Miss Gabby joining me today on the vlog. And for those of you who are new around here, Miss Gabby, do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Gabby. And I don't know what I am. We were just talking about what I'm going to introduce myself as, but I'm just Gabby. But in all reality, I am a
beautiful, happy soul.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, you really are.
That's what I'm going to say I am.
Yes.
Obviously, I do like the whole fitness thing. I'm a figure competitor from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And
you're 21 years old?
I'm 21 years old. I'm also a social media manager and a makeup artist.
Yeah.
So I'm a unique kind of individual.
That's my kind of individual.
Yeah.
That's why we here. That's why we're best friends.
Exactly. So yeah, that's who I am. So nice to kind of meet you guys.
Yes. Alright, I'm super happy to have you back on my channel. But today we want to discuss something that I feel like a lot of people might be interested in hearing. We are both very young competitors. We started competing when we were both 17?
18.
17, 18. So we're both pretty young. Would I say that we rushed into it? Maybe. I guess you guys are going to have to keep watching and find that out. But we pretty much just want to talk about what we think about getting started with competing at a very young age, whether we think it's good or not, whether we think that you should wait, and just basically our opinion on the topic.
Just our opinions. Our opinions, I mean, you could support them, you could not, but just our opinions.
Yeah, you gotta keep in mind that it's our side of the story, it's our opinion, it's how we see things, how we perceive things. So we're not saying that you have to agree with us. We just hope that sharing this information maybe reaches out to someone who's confused as to whether they should compete or not, and they're at a very young and early stage in their life. So with that being said, let's get into the topic. So I guess the first thing that I would say is, do I regret starting competing at a young age? I do not, because I do believe that everything that I experienced throughout the past 3 years has led me to this point where I am today, has made me a more mature person, more ambitious, more driven. It's brought the success and the clarity that I have in my life right now. I don't think I missed out on too much, to be honest, because the kids my age were drinking, they were partying.
We saved money.
Yeah, we saved money. Like, I think it's a phase that we all need to go through. Did I go through that phase? Kind of. But I don't regret it because it's molded me into the person that I am today. But I do think there's something to be said for waiting it out, experiencing that young, early stage in your life first, and kind of figuring out why you want to compete before you actually jump into a show. What do you think?
I'm the same. I don't regret it whatsoever. It was something that I set out to be my 18th birthday to myself, so it was pretty cool that way. Same thing, like I said, I don't regret it at all. It has taught me so much, and like Valentina said, it has definitely helped mold who we are today. What I would say though is that I wish I had someone tell me what we're about to tell you back when I was debating whether to do it or not. I just feel that competing is something that a lot of people are getting into these days, which is awesome because it's so much fun. It's obviously a hobby we love, but there's definitely a lot of things that I feel like people don't think about before they put themselves in this situation. So that's my opinion on it.
Yeah,
so far.
Yeah, I think it's just, when I jumped into competing, I didn't look for the why within myself. Neither. There was something inside of me being like, you need to get up on that stage. Like, I loved fitness. I saw it as a new challenge, and that's why I jumped into it. I'm very fortunate that I never experienced any eating disorders. I never experienced any post-show depression or any super crazy weight gain or anything like that. Like, everything for me kind of happened really good, so I'm very, very thankful for that, because I know it can be very traumatic, and being that young, it can be something that just puts a hold on your life, you know. 100%. It just leaves you marked, and it can change your perception on fitness and how you perceive the lifestyle, and it might really turn you off from the gym, from a healthy diet, and you start thinking that fitness means competing, where it's like the opposite thing. Like, fitness is about being active,
it's about
being
way,
healthy.
way more.
Yeah, it's about taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, your temple. So I think it's really important to have like that clear understanding as to why you're doing it, and to really look within yourself and your soul, and just making sure that you're doing that because like there's a reason why inside of you, and not just because everyone else is doing it, or because it looks fun. Because even though I didn't experience any bad post-show experiences, I guess it could have happened to me.
It happened to me. It happened to me.
There we go. So
I'll
like,
be honest. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about
that.
that.
So actually during my prep to my first show, I didn't do my research whatsoever. I honestly was in the gym for a little bit, and then an aunt of mine suggested, oh, why don't you do a show? And I was like, what is that? So then anyways, I just kind of Googled around, and then I said, yeah, I'm going to do it. Do you know anybody? She suggested someone, and I knew nothing about this person, and I trusted my health and everything in this person's hand, and it ended up being something that turned into me becoming a binge eater. And so I had that eating disorder for a little bit, and then I mean I was already halfway through prep, so then I found someone else to kind of help me during the last few weeks, and then after my first show I gained 30 pounds right away, and still had a binge eating disorder, and I had to take a year and a half off until I competed again. So definitely because of my poor understanding and research and reasons why I wanted to compete. Honestly, I only wanted to compete because someone said, why don't you compete?
Yeah.
Like, that's not a valid enough reason to put yourself through what you put yourself through for a prep. So because of that, I developed all these things. Thankfully, I've overcome some of them. I'm still working on some to this day, 4 years later. So, you know, it's it can definitely open the doors to some really
dark sides?
Dark places.
Dark
so
places,
just be prepared for that, that if you're not going to do something for the right reasons, or even know your reason,
or have a clear understanding of what you're even getting yourself into.
Or really understand, do research, seriously. If you
That's a big part of why I think I didn't run into those issues, because I did actually read a lot on
we're
Google.
so opposite. Like, we're really so opposite. So, do what Valentina did. Don't do what I did.
I look like having that post-show plan and like having that reverse diet mentality after definitely helped me a lot with how I dealt with my post-show. But I think either way, like whether you have a good experience or not, it still makes you it just changes your perspective on fitness. So that's why it's really good to make sure that before you get into competing, you kind of have that full love for fitness and the lifestyle, and you have that lifestyle balance on lock, because it's really hard to have balance and do fitness at the same time. And it's something that a lot of people struggle with, because people like they go into a vicious cycle of dieting, and then they gain weight, and then diet, and then they gain weight. So being able to first have that balance, and then once you have that and you are okay, and like you truthfully enjoy it. Yeah, you truthfully just enjoy living a healthy life, eating healthy, training, going to the gym. Once you have that unlocked, then you can look into competing, because you just, it's not gonna, what's the word?
You just need to really understand what fitness really is, because I feel like nowadays people have kind of twisted what fitness is.
It's not even people, it's just the
media. Sorry, not people, but the media has definitely twisted what fitness really means. And I think for us, we just really want to reteach that in any way that we possibly can. I mean, we're only 2 individuals, but we want to help as many people out there really do it right.
Just open up your eyes and see that it's not just a show, it's not just a prep. If you're doing it and you're like driven to, you know, win or at least achieve your final goal, and you're willing to do whatever it takes, it's gonna be a hard process no matter what. So you have to just really know what you're getting yourself into, because it's hard on the body.
Very.
And it's hard on the mind. It, like I said, it just changes your perception of fitness, on food, the way that you see the gym and everything like that. So having an understanding of what you're getting yourself into before you go into that is very important. And it's definitely something that I guess, like, I knew what I was getting myself into, but it still changed my perception of fitness, because I had only been in the gym for like 6 or 7 months before I started competing.
Really?
Yeah, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like I chose to do my first show like after 6 months of being in the gym. Like I lost 30 pounds, and I was like, okay, what's my next challenge? So competing was my next challenge. And even though I knew what I was getting myself into and all of that, it still just really changed the way that I saw food and the gym, and like it just really changed my mindset towards fitness. Like, I'm just finding that where it's like, yo, look, fitness isn't trying to get shredded all the time or having to bulk all the time. Like, there is a fine balance in between there where if you want to take time off, you can actually just maintain your weight or be at a good place and just enjoy different fitness activities and enjoy just eating instead of having to track macros or be on a diet. And like, you're cutting right now and you're not even tracking macros, yet you're seeing progress. So, you know, it's really good to be able to, like, we're kind of reverse doing this.
Like, we're doing this 3 years later, when we kind of wish we did this before. Another thing to keep in mind, because we did start young, I mean, we did say in the beginning, you know, we don't feel like we missed out on too much, but we did miss out on a little bit, to be honest. I mean, you know, we were 17.
Still so
I mean, we're still young, and we still have missed out on a few things. And I think, well, I mean, personally for me, like, I'm kind of, I guess, catching up on some things that I missed out on, or maybe didn't get to fully experience, or maybe I neglected a little bit, kind of thing, just because I'm trying to figure out that balance thing right now. And like, you know, we've been saying this whole video, we kind of wish we found that before.
To give us a better understanding as to why we were stepping on stage and why we were putting ourselves through that process, you know? Like, when you have a clear understanding why, when it's truthfully just coming from within you, you enjoy the process so much more. And
it's so much more rewarding.
Yeah, and then even after, you're probably not going to experience as bad of a post-show experiences, because you just know that that was just a phase that you went through. It was just a prep, and you can go back to your regular healthy fitness lifestyle.
Yeah, because what happens a lot is that people will jump into a prep, and then once that prep's over, they feel lost, like completely lost, and it's because that was all they knew, and that's all they kind of that's all they knew, and
they close themselves off to a prep.
And that was it.
Forgetting that fitness is so much more than that.
Yeah. So you don't wanna be there. It's not fun.
No, not at all.
It's not fun.
Not at all. I always tell younger girls that, you know, the stage is always going to be there. Your education is so much more important. Your family is so much more important. You growing as a young woman is so much more important. And when you're so focused on a physique and competing, you forget about that, because that's all, like we said, you're so laser focused on that one thing. If you're a driven individual, that's how I was anyways. And I made a video about this previously, and I really lost myself in that. And even though I was doing it because I did love it, that full-on passion and love for it just wasn't there, because I didn't have a clear understanding of who I truthfully was. So now that I'm at that place, now I feel like if I do compete again, I'm just gonna enjoy the process so much more, because there's real and more clear intentions as to why I'm doing it. So I think focusing on yourself first, focusing on your relationships with people who you love, the things that you're going to have for the rest of your life and your career and all of that is so much more important. The things that are going to make you happy, because prep is temporary happiness when you have that physique. That's where a lot of people fall into post-show depression, because they get so fixated on that one look. They find happiness in that look, and then once they gain the weight back, they just don't have that happiness anymore, because they base their happiness on something that's not even realistic. So
they didn't find their own kind of normal to begin with, and like happy stage to begin with. You just know, like she said, you know, you just know that shredded life, and you think that's all there is. So like finding yourself first and just finding your place in this world first is so much more important, because you're gonna be happy to begin with, and once that's all said and done with, you're still gonna be happy, because you understand that once, like, happiness doesn't come from a physique, happiness comes from, like, so many
loving your body and loving life as it is, because life is beautiful. I'm just saying.
She's been saying it this whole trip, and you know, being around Valentina has really helped open my eyes to a lot of things. Like I said, like I'm in the process of, you know, kind of trying to get to that place that we're kind of talking about. So
it's a process, and if you're in this right now, like you're trying to find that balance, just keep making the efforts every single day. Like, do something like what Gabby's doing. She's, you know, she's constantly reminding herself that even though she's not tracking macros, and even though the process isn't as fast as it normally is, because she's not being as structured, she's so much happier, and she's still making progress, you know? So
it's like a win-win, you know? I'm living life, but I'm also, you know, taking care of my body and reaching my fitness goals and mental goals, everything like that. I'm starting to find that balance, and it's just so important, because there's just so much more to life, and, you know, you're not going to get time back ever. And there's just so much out there in this beautiful world that we all need to discover and be a part of. So
yeah, man.
What else is there?
Honestly, I feel like this video got really off topic, but I love where it's going. Yeah. So I do think that was about everything we wanted to touch on. We did get a little bit off topic. We were wanting to make this more geared towards younger girls, but I feel like we covered that, plus
and more.
Just anyone that's looking into competing or wanting to get started with competing. Our main goal is just pretty much to make you reflect on why you're wanting to compete. You know, that's what we're here for.
Have the right intentions.
Yeah, just I want you to ask yourself, like, why am I truthfully doing this?
And fully understand that. Fully understand your why. Don't just find your why, but also fully understand it. And that's where the answer will be within yourself. Seriously. If you're looking for why you should compete, dig deep.
It's a fun process, and honestly, I don't want anyone to like be turned off from competing. It's not.
We're not bashing competing.
Yeah, we're not bashing competing, because I'll probably be up on that stage within the next year or two.
Same.
It's just kind of, I guess, sharing our experience and
realizations.
Realizations that we've made after taking this year off from competing. Because it's our first time ever taking a full year off from competing. So taking this time off and having the time and energy to actually focus on other things has really showed us that there's just so much more to this life and to fitness than competing. And there's a lot that you kind of block yourself off to because you're so fixated on that one goal. So now having this wider understanding as to
not having those blinders up anymore allows you to see so much more and to so much more
and to just understand I guess understand life better and your purpose in life better. So that's pretty much our purpose here, is just pretty much get you guys to ask yourself why you're doing this, what is the true meaning and the true purpose behind your intentions, and pretty much help you avoid any kind of like post-show struggles and eating disorders and all of those things, because it's so common and it just hurts my soul because it's
hard to see. It's hard to see because you wish, like I said in the beginning of this video, I wish someone told me this when I was starting out, because I would have made better decisions and I wouldn't have gone through what I have been through. I got through it, but it's been hard, and I really don't want to see other people go through it, because like I said, it's just, it's not fun, it's not good for you in any single way, physical, mentally, any way. It's just not good. So the purpose of this video is to just really help you guys avoid what I did.
To pretty much just have a clear understanding and to just not jump in the bandwagon.
Don't do that. I mean, it's so easy to get influenced that way, especially with social media these days. Focus on yourself and you only.
Do what makes you happy. Don't do things for other people, do them for yourself, and do them for the things that make your soul just like spark
your
up.
Soul.
It's a tingle. But you guys, I think that is gonna be about it. Thank you so much for joining us in this little chat. We definitely had a really good time.
We had like a heart-to-heart moment with you guys.
We got cut off, but as we were saying, we pretty much just kind of like sat down here and just let it all come out, because we didn't plan it at all. Aside from the topic, we did. But other than that, that's pretty much everything that we have to say. We hope that this was helpful to some of you out there, and it just gave you maybe a clear understanding as to why you want to do this.
Give you some more things to think about.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you so much, you guys, for joining us today. We hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys aren't subscribed to Gabby's channel, make sure you go ahead and do that, because she has amazing content. Like I said, she's a beautiful soul, and I love her, so you guys would love her too. But thank you so much for tuning in, you guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Mwah.